think day 4 I need open, and I need day 5 open. Okay. Kate, go ahead, start us off.
8 and 12.
Okay, 8 and 12, everyone. Let's start with number 8. Okay, number 8, which equation best represents the graph below? For this one, I'm totally storing in numbers. All right, I'm going to store in numbers. Looks like I only have to store in an A and a C. So I pick an A value and I pick a C value. So let's say I'll pick A is 2, C is 3. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to choice 1. I'm going to go to the grapher. All right, and wherever I have an A, I'm going to plug in 2. Wherever I have a C, I'm going to plug in 3. And then remember, I'm going to see which graph it matches. So remember, this will be, for me, this will be 2 and negative 2, because I chose 2 for A. And this will be 3 and negative 3, because that's what I chose for C. And all I'm going to do is go to each one, go to grapher, and see which graph pops up. All right, I think 2 out of the 3, it doesn't even look like going in this direction, so you can eliminate it. And then the other 2 will look like this, but only 1 is going right above 3 and kind of hitting negative 2, so I'm storing everything on this one. Okay, again, definite store one. And then again, typing it into grapher and seeing which one comes as close as possible to the one they gave me. All right, and we all know how to get to the log button. That's not an issue. Just leave the 10 in there. Everyone else all right? Because I need to do a better job of getting moving through these problems. We're taking too long on these problems, and I'm not getting to what we need to. Number 12, Kate, you said? Okay, number 12, x squared minus 4x equals negative 13. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to solver, right? Right to equations on the, and I better do that on this one so I can show you everything. So I'm going right to equations, typing in the equation, x squared. Let's see what else I get there. Minus 4x equals 13. Yep, negative 13 equals negative 13. It's going to tell me that there are no real roots. Okay, no real roots, which means to me, if I see that on the calculator when I type that in, it's got to have imaginary roots, so my answer has to have an I in it. So instead of a 25% chance, I'm getting rid of number 3 because there is no I there. Those are all real. So now at least I have a 33% chance. And also, remember what this is telling you here. That's the part underneath the square root in quadratic formula, because if there are no real roots, I am going to need quadratic formula. All right, which is given to you on the actual formula sheet you'll have. Just write that real quick here to show you. Here's what you're given on the formula sheet, right? We already know, good start. We already know that what's, shoot, get rid of that. We already know what's underneath the radical. The calculator just told us was negative 36. All right, so now just be careful here. I can't use quadratic formula unless it's equal to 0. All right, I can't do A, B, C unless it's equal to 0, so make sure you move that 13 over. X squared minus 4x plus 13 equals 0. All right, so what's my B value up here? Negative 4, but it becomes what when I plug it in? Positive 4. Does everyone see that? Negative 4. And then my A value is 1, so 2 times 1 at the bottom. Is everyone all right so far before I keep going? Because now you got to take over. Your calculator only does so much, unfortunately. I have gone over this already, so this will be the second time. When you take the negative out underneath the radical, what's it become on the outside? I write an I now. Good. So I'll have I, and the square root of 36 is 6, right? Square root of 36 is 6. So I get an I when I take the negative out, and I get a 6 when I take the square root of 36. So 6i, that all becomes. All over 2. And is everyone, I don't have a choice yet, do I? That's not one of my choices up there because you can divide each of those numbers by 2. All All right, so you do 4 divided by 2, which is 2. 6 divided by 2, which is 3i. And there's my answer there, 2 plus or minus 3i. All right, this is, again, good one to go over. Your calculator can't do all the work, but at least you tried putting it into equations and you saw it's not a real root, got to have an I, and it tells you what should be underneath the radical. All right, so at least it gives you a little help, but you got to do a little bit more. Go ahead, Harper.
Can you do number 11? We already did it, but I just forgot how to put it in calculations.
What's number?
Go up. 11.
Put in there?
Yeah.
So you got to go to solver, or I keep saying solver, equations. And then you type in each of them individually. So x plus y plus z equals 2. And the way you do that is you have an x button. So there's that. Plus, now you have to hit alpha. And then the y is right up where the 3 is. Everything's in alphabetical order, all the letters. Plus, and then hit alpha again. And then you got to find the z, which is the plus button.
Wait, hold on.
So anytime you want an actual letter, all the letters are in alphabetical order, starting right here, A, B, C, D, E, F, all the way through. And anytime you want to access that letter, you got to hit the alpha button. Okay? And then equals, and then you go from there. And then after you're done typing in that equation, you add an equation and type in all 3 and say solve. Okay? Good? Others? Anything else we got to go over before I hit up a couple from Friday that I can get to that I think are pretty darn important? Going? Okay, stay in that same exam. Here we go. Something you should have done last year. I'm not even too sure if you did it or not. You should have. And if you did do it, you probably used a graphing calculator and not numwork. So, all right, go to 14 for me. 14. Excuse me. All right, so we got this popular celebrity tracking her social media hits. And here's the summary here. Celebrity used then, and I don't know if this is familiar from last year or not, exponential regression equation, all right, to model this. So on June 1st, 2018, approximately how many followers did they have? All right, on June 1st, 2018. Well, first, before I get into this whole exponential regression, we should be able to eliminate at least 2 of these, I think, because it doesn't fit into the chart where it should be. What's up top? Number of months since January 2015. Number of months since January 2015. What are we finding? June 1st, 2018. So how many months are we talking about here? Because I got to figure out where this is going to, is it between 27 and 35, 47 and 50, or is it more than 52? All right, this is the number of months. These numbers represent the number of months since 2015, and I'm looking for June 1st, 2018. So how do I calculate the number of months that I'm actually looking for on this table? So I'm going from January 2015 to June 1st, 2018. Can we calculate the number of months there? Because I got to figure out where I am on the table here. Gabby?
I did 12 times 3.
Okay, it's 3 years. So 3 years, that's 12 times 3, which is?
36.
That's 36 months.
Plus 6.
Now I'm going from January to June, so I add 6. So I'm looking for, on this table, really 42 months, right? Everyone good on? We're getting the 42. That's the number of months since January 2015. So see where 42 lies? It's going to be somewhere between 35 and 47, right? And this is why I say you could eliminate 2 answers, because 2 of those answers don't fall between these 2 numbers. There's a lot going on in this problem. First, you had to figure out there's 42 months going on. Now, does that mean that she had 3.1 followers the first month or after 2 months? No, it's in thousands, in thousands. They didn't just write the full number. They just put it in thousands. So 680.3, that's in thousands. How many followers is that actually? Go to your calculator. Go over to your calculations. 680.3 0.3 times, I already did this, huh? 1,000. So that's really 680,300 followers. So that's how many she had here. 6,000. What was, sorry, 600. 680,300. And then over here, you can do 5,200.3 times 1,000. And it's over 5 million, right? 5,200,300. Now, which two up here don't fall in between those? Because it's definitely got to be in between those. Which ones aren't going to fall between? 13 million is out, and so is 5 million for, because that's after, right? That's greater than the 5.2. So now we're down to these two, right? Now look, you could make an educated guess to, where 42 falls closer to 47 and make a guess, but I know they're going to ask this question maybe on like a part 2 or something, and we need to come up. Does this ring a bell from last year or not? Exponential regression equation. Okay, so here's what it's at. I need your help with. Find an equation that represents these, and your calculator will do all the work. All right, so go to your numworks, because this is a new screen we have not ventured into this year. We know calculation, we know grapher, we know equations. Heck, we know statistics, right? Mean, median, mode. We also know distributions. We're here a lot. Oh, look at it. It's right there. Regression, right? Regression. As soon as you hit enter, guess what pops up? A table to put values in. So there's our table of values. So we start going 2, 11. Again, I'm just getting this from the problem. I'm not making this up. Take your time. Don't type like you're texting. 20, 27, 35, 50, 52. Real quick check before I enter the other values. Looks good. Okay, going backwards. 12, 107, 1. Just matching up each of the values together. Okay, just take a look over your your table of values. Make sure you're good. Matches up. I want to go ahead. I want to make sure we're all on the same page. Okay, we got them all typed in. Okay, now we go up to graph for me. Go up to graph, enter. All right, it'll show you what the graph looks like. All right, remember, it should look like an exponential graph, which it does. All right, so how does the calculator produce the equation for me? All right, go up to, see how it's on auto, axes, navigate, regression. All right, so when I'm on the graph screen, I go to regression. Now, there are different types of regression you could be asked, and I'll tell you at the end of the problem, there's only going to be 2. All right, but if you look through all the choices, do you see the one we need? Go ahead, what's the question? We good here? What was I asked for? An exponential one, right? And there it is, exponential. Okay, exponential. There's others on here, and you're only going to be asked for 2, I can guarantee it. So exponential, and I know there's 2 here. I'm never going to use the one with the E, ever. Okay, I'm not going to use that. It's going to be A times B to the X.
How'd you get to that?
Okay, go up to graph. Are you on so you see the graph on your screen, Gabby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go up to where, I'll go back to. Up here, auto, axes, navigate, regression. And then you got to tell the calculator what type of regression you want. And we need an exponential, and it's always the first one there. We'll never use the second one. Okay. So everyone hits enter there. And what happened here? Why did it? Oh Oh, there. Okay, there it is. Is it getting this screen up or no? Did it go back to the graph?
Yes.
Okay, it went back to the graph. Good. I'm learning here too. So go back to regression. It'll go back to the graph, go back to the regression, and it'll give you the equation that you need. Okay, so go back to regression. It'll give you the equation we need. So go ahead. I'll give you a second to jot that down. I'll jot it down too. And it was tough for me to see. You guys got better eyes than I do. Remember, that's a multiplication symbol there. Okay, right? That's an X multiplication symbol. So times. Okay, so how do I actually find my final answer here? Now that I have the equation the calculator did for me, how do I actually figure it out? Number of months since January. That's going to be my X values. Number of social media followers are my Y. So where can I plug in 42 now?
For Y. Or for X.
Which one's the number of months? X, right? So now I can take 42, plug it in for X, and see what my Y value is going to be. And I believe you can copy this, right? You can copy this and go over to calculate and paste it, or type it all in again, whatever you float your boat. So paste this back in and then remove the X and just put in 42.
You can't do the Y equals.
Yep, we got to get rid of Y equals. Thank you for reminding me of that. Get rid of Y equals, so it's just a calculation. But remember, that's in thousands, right? That's not my final answer. Right, everyone remember that? That's what I'd be putting there. So I got to multiply that by 1,000 because it's in thousands. Now look, I know that's not a choice, but it's we're not looking for, according to the model, about how many followers. So I gotta choose the one that's closest to it, which would be what? About how many followers, according to the choices they give me. $1.8 million. Now, could you have could you have probably realistically guessed that, because 42 is a heck of a lot closer to 47, and this number is a little bit closer than 790,000 was? Yeah, you could have realistically guessed that, but I'm going to tell you what, there's going to be a part 2 question where it's just going to say, write the exponential regression. And your darn calculator does all the work. It's a free 2 points they're giving you. All right, there will be possibly a part 2 question where it says, write the exponential regression, and that's all they want with the Y and the X there. Your calculator does the work. Remember I said there's going to be 2 types probably they'll ask you? They'll ask for exponential, and okay, how do I go back? So let me go to regression again with that screen. And here it is, model. The only other one I could see them asking is linear, which is the first one on here, Y equals mx plus b. Okay, so that's where you guys want to live, linear or the first exponential. All right. Questions there? Going? Okay, one more I want to do with you that I should have done on Friday, and that is 21. Actually, there's 2. 21. Go to 21 for me. I found something new I think you'll like on the calculator, maybe. Second time I've done this with you. Second time. Are we getting any better? Given the inverse, what's the function? All right, see the word inverse. What are you guys thinking? That's all I want. Switch X and Y, right? Switch X and Y. So go ahead. Instead of f to the -1 of x, what's that going to be replaced with? Ooh, it's already y though, right? It's already y. F of x is already y. So x equals 2/3 y plus 1/6. Many of you can, I have more than enough faith you can do that. Here's where the iffy part might come in. Now you got to solve it for y, remember. All right, switch the x and the y, but you got to solve for y. And that might be a little iffy here. All right, I found your calculator can do it, believe it or not. All right, your calculator can do it. Go to Grapher for me. Watch this bad boy. Go to Grapher. Type in that. X equals 2/3 y plus 1/6. Watch this magic, kids. Don't graph it, though. Just type it in. You got these 3 dots over here. All right, these 3 dots. I want you to highlight on those 3 dots for me. Once it's highlighted, press enter. See where it says details. Everyone can says details there. So you highlighted those 3 dots, press enter, you got details. Watch these details. It'll tell you the slope and the y-intercept already. So you just got y equals 1.5x. It'll put it in y equals form for you. That's what they're doing for you right here. It'll put it in y equals form for you. So y equals, what was it again? What was the slope? 1.5 or negative? 1.5x minus 0.25, right? It'll do it for you. Put it in the y equals for you if you have trouble doing it on your own. So the only thing it won't do is put it as a fraction, but hopefully you can help. You can help yourself there. So put it into y equals form, choice 3. And I know it'll only do that for lines. All right, only lines. It'll put it into y equals form. So if you're ever having trouble solving for y, there you go.
Where do I find y equals form?
So you put it into Grapher.
Okay.
You put this into Grapher.
Yeah.
Go over the 3 dots.
Oh, that's it. Oh.
And then details. Okay, and it'll tell you what the m and the y-intercept is. Good deal? Okay. Anybody else going? All right, let's go. 23. A couple more here. Second time we're doing a parabola one. Focus is 0,6. Directrix is 4. What's the equation of this parabola? I didn't put it on. I don't attach it to yours because I don't want to make the packet more thicker. But on game day, on the day of the test, you will have graph paper attached to this. Use it. Use it. You will have scrap graph paper that we don't even look at it attached to it. Why do I say that? Probably a good idea to take a look at this one. You guys can just do yourself a ghetto graph here, quick sketch. 0,6. Everyone knows where 0,6 is? 0,6. Right here. There's the focus. Directrix is at y equals 4. Anybody remember what we talked about? Directrix is not a point. It's a line, yes, that the parabola never intersects. So I know this parabola should what? Open up or down? Not that it's going to, should open up. Good. It's going to open up. All right, here's the key. Where's the vertex have to be? Where's the vertex?
In between.
Halfway in between, right? So where's my vertex here? Whoa, 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 whoa. Here's the focus. I'll put F for focus. Here's my directrix. The vertex is halfway in between the two. So where is my vertex? Halfway in between. Hey, look, if I do 8, it's not even between them. The vertex is in between the focus and directrix, halfway in between. So it should be 5, right? So it should probably look something like that bad boy. But I know the vertex is 0,5. I know it's there. Oh, well, there's a lot of 5s rocking here, so I can't really eliminate anything. But you know what can tell me what has a vertex, which one of these 4 has a vertex of 0,5? What am I going to suggest? Graph them. Graph them. Only one's going to have a vertex of 0,5. Let's go. Get that bad boy out of there from last problem. Here we go. First one, y squared. Got to use the alpha button. Y squared equals 4x minus 5. What's this look like? No shot. Don't even sniff it. No shot, right? Because we know that this has got to open up or down. See you later. Goodbye. No shot. Not even going to waste my time. All right, next up, what do we got? X squared equals 4 y minus 5 now. Alpha y minus 5. Enter. Go down. Plot graph. All right, maybe.
Wait, why can't I see? How do I change the?
You can go up to auto. Make sure auto.
Oh.
So that'll make you see the graph no matter where it is. Okay. All right, let's go. Oh, anybody getting down to the vertex there? Oh, what's it say? 0, 5. That was our vertex. And if you check because I know, hopefully some of you guys are like me, are like, I'm not sold yet. Let me check out 3 and 4. 3, it's going to open up sideways again. And 4, it's going to be at 0, 6 instead. All right, so that is the only choice. Your vertex is at 0, 5. All right? Halfway in between the focus and directrix is your vertex. Halfway in between. Questions, comments there? All right, so that's what I wanted to get through Friday. Today, you guys got to help me out. I don't know where I ended did I have you do 16 over the weekend? Okay, good. So now we're on part 2, 26. I'm going to try to take more steps back here and see what you guys have to say. 26, solve this algebraically. What's your first go-to? Find the answers. Find out what it should be equal to, right? Find out what it should be equal to. Which is as ridiculous as it sounds, this test-taking strategy, but if you just show what x should equal, no work, you're going to get 1 out of 2 points here. But I'm not promoting that as a teacher. I could not sleep that night if I did that. So figure out what it should be equal to. So we should have what? 6, x equals 6. Make a little note off to the side. All right, come on now, come on. Let's get x equals 6. That's what you're telling yourself. We're going to get x equals 6 out. All right, first move. What would your first move be? First move? I hear square it. Other thoughts? Because it is a radical, right? So I heard square it. Anything else? The answer is square it. I just want to make sure we're good. You can't square unless that radical's all by itself. All right, so make sure the radical is completely isolated, all by itself. Then you can square both sides. Good call, Harper. So we'll square both sides. Please remember, squaring the radical just gets rid of the radical, and that is it. I am just left with what's underneath. It doesn't square anything underneath. That's it. And now, you guys have shown me a lot here. I was pretty impressed. You guys know how to handle that. Don't you dare distribute the 2. All right, that'll just give you a free headlock or roundhouse kick, whatever you need. We write it twice, right? And double distribute. X squared minus x plus 1. I'm just gonna go through this quick because this is something I'm assuming we're comfortable with, and I hope we're comfortable with. Combine your like terms in the middle, right? They don't cancel here. They don't cancel. So I get negative 2x in the middle plus 1. What's your next move now? I'm done helping you.
Set it equal to 0.
Thanks, Grant. Yep, set it equal to 0. I'm going to move over the 3x and the 7 because I like my x squareds to be positive. So go ahead and subtract 3x and subtract 7 and we'll talk. Minus 5x, I like it. And then minus 6. Get it equal to 0. What's your next move? Bless you, bless you. Factor it, right? Try to factor it. And this is, hey, if you struggle, you know what one answer should be, right? X equals 6 should be on the bottom. So what's one thing in the parenthesis have to be? If I'm going to get x minus 6 as an answer, or x equals negative, or x equals 6 as an answer, what's got to be in the parenthesis the step before? Yeah, so anybody that's thinking 3 and 2, you better cut it. All right, you better cut that business. Can't be 3 and 2. Two numbers that multiply to negative 6 but add to negative 5. Minus 6 and plus 1. Factoring. Whoa, 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 wait a second. I'm going to get x equals 6, right? But I'm also going to get negative 1. But what did my calculator tell me? Yeah, it's only going to be x equals 6. So whether you, I would usually on a normal year here, minus the numworks calculator, tell you to check each. And when you check negative 1, they won't equal each other. All right, so but you don't have to worry about that because you already know there's one answer and one answer only. So see you later. X equals negative 1. Questions there? I wanted to make sure we went over solving a radical. Going. What's up next? Oh, geez, 28. We're going to have to do some dig deep from last year here. Deep. Real deep. Yeah, how about that one? What's the value of A? Anything you want to throw at me before I start reteaching?
Synthetic division?
Your 28 doesn't look like my 20. Oh, wait, never mind.
Okay, great. Good talk. Grant, I would like to do synthetic division, but it's going to be a problem when it's not going to find the value of A. How about that? Okay, it's not going to find the value of A. But we're kind of in the right area here.
Are we not allowed to plug that into our calculator?
What are you going to plug into your calculator? You can't plug it in with an A.
Oh.
Okay, can't plug it in with an A. I guess you could guess and check, but that might take a while if A is a crazy number. All right, so here we go. Let's do some reteaching. Okay, if this is a factor, anything that's a factor, and this kind of goes back to what Grant was saying. If this is a factor, you get no remainder, a remainder of 0. Okay, you get no remainder. If something you are told is a factor, that means the remainder, when you divide by it, is 0. What's the actual answer, though? If the factor is x minus 3, one of the actual answers is going to be x equals positive 3, right? So here's what this means. When you plug in 3 for x, you will get a remainder of 0, no remainder. That's what that means. When you plug the answer in of a factor, when you plug the answer in for x, you will get no remainder out. That is what's going to solve this problem for us. Ready? What do I plug in for x here? 3 cubed plus a times, keep plugging it in for me, 3 squared minus 5 times 3 plus 6. This should all equal your remainder when you plug it in, which would be 0. I don't know if you remember that last year. When you plug in the opposite, you'll always get what the remainder is equal to. So this is something we can definitely solve now. I don't care if you use your equations or you solve it straight up. I don't care. And everyone's coming up with, what do you have for A? Nothing? -2, hopefully. Okay, guys, look, let me be straight up with you. I cannot help you use your calculator on the day of. You can't call me over and be like, what should I use here? What button for this one? I cannot. I'll just pat you on the back and say, good luck. Good luck, young buck. All right, that's all I'm going to say. All right, that's all. I can't help you with anything here. All right, so if you're nervous about using the calculator, now is the time to ask those questions. I can't show you where to go. I can't show you what button to press. Nothing. I can just give you encouragement. That's all I can give you the day of. Yes.
So was I supposed to, where was I supposed to plug in A if I just did it with the calculations?
With the, well, you can't do that yet. Here, if I was use this without using equations, it would be 0 equals, that's cubed, sorry. That's 27 plus 9a minus 15 plus 6, right?
Yeah.
All right, so now I combine my like terms. 9a plus 18. And now I solve for a. Move the 18 over and divide by 9. Okay? Yeah, you can't do this on calculations.
Gotcha.
Okay? Grant.
Do they need to see like the work come down, or can you just?
Nope, all I need is this right here and we're good. Okay, we're good. Alrighty? All right, last one we're going to do, 29. And this is my wheelhouse from this year. Write a recursive formula for this sequence. Anybody want to be like, hey, I did a halfway decent job and I remember this? Recursive. 2 parts. 2 parts to a recursive formula you need. 2 parts. Anytime you're asked for a recursive formula, it'll always be 2 parts. The first part is the easiest part. What's the first term? And how do I write it? Remember how to write the first term? The symbol? Like I know it's 189 up here, but what do I say equals 189? How do I write the first term? Oh, come on now. What do I have? Nothing? A with a subscript of 1. Yep, A1. So you always have to tell me the first term. And the second thing you need to show me is what you're doing to the previous term to get to the next. The pattern, basically, the pattern. I don't know if you remember how to write that. A subscript N. Anybody remember how to write the previous term? A with a subscript of N minus 1. That means previous. So you guys now have to tell me what you're doing in the previous term here. So what do I do to 189 to get to 63? 63 to 21, 21 to 7. I am dividing the previous by 3. So a couple ways you could do that. If you want to say all that divided by 3, we'll certainly accept it. The other way is instead of dividing by 3, multiply by 1/3. You could show that way too. But either one is fine. And guys, that's it. You just got to remember what a recursive formula was and that there's 2 parts to it. That's 2 points right there. Done. Free 2 points. Actually, I'm going to go right up to the bell today. Sorry, no free time. But those are the 4 problems. If you want to circle them right now, I'm asking you to try out tonight. And we're going to do 31 to end this class. All right, let's hop right into it. Let's see if I can finish it. Write the expression below in simplest form. So simplify it. Reduce this. Oh, whoa. I'm showing you this for a reason. We're not pulling this crap. Sorry. 3x. Oh, I'm left with a 6. That's beautiful. The x squareds cancel. I'm going, no. This is factor first, cross out second. Factor first, cross out second. So you need to factor everything you can and then cross out at the end when you're asked to simplify. All right. I don't think I assigned this. Nobody asked it, so I assume everybody was good. How do I factor the top? Grouping. There we go, Richie. There you go, boss. Group this sucker. What are you taking out of the first grouping? Yeah, let's go, kids. Take out an x squared, and what are we left with? So 2x plus 1. So you better be left with the 2x plus 1 coming up. So what do you want to take out of negative 18x minus 9 to get a 2x plus 1? Negative 9. Good. And I'm left with 2x plus 1 again. You want to keep going or go to the bottom? Because we're not done yet. Keep going. Perfect. All right. What's left in the first parenthesis then? X squared minus 9. And good. We got some groupers in here, it looks like. But we're not done. Why not? X squared minus 9 could still be factored. So keep going. Yep. X plus 3x. Yeah. Yep. You're hungry here today. 2x plus 1. So that's just the top by grouping. That's the top. How about the bottom? Oh, we're going to finish this beast. Take out an x. Yeah, I love it. GCF. And what's left? All right. Here's the finisher. Now we're ready to cross out. There's nothing that's the same on the top and the bottom, but something that looks kind of the same. X minus 3 and 3 minus x. We had a term for those. They're not the same. Opposites. Yeah, so I can cross them out. I can, but you better not leave it like that. Just crossed out. Left with A. And it doesn't matter where it goes. Top, bottom. Nope. Just don't put it in both. So if you want to put it on the bottom, that's fine. So here you go. X plus 3. 2x plus 1. And there you go. Over negative x. Finish it. There we go. All right. See what you can do with those four.